Hi, everybody. This is Heidi and
Hello.
Heather, and we are Sister Rack, as you guys know. But we are starting a fun little podcast because we like to talk and we're sisters. And we are calling it the Sister Racket. Because, as our husbands would probably say, when we talk to each other, we kind of get loud and fast and we sound like a racket. But really, we just like to chat about stuff. And half the time we talk about things, I always say we should record this because there's nothing better than having a sister that like questions you on stuff. I said something to Heidi the other day and you said to me, "Why?" And it was so funny because at work, I've gotten to
Okay,
the
you said
place.
you wanted a bunch of a certain number of Instagram followers, and I was like, "Well, why?" That was
I
it.
did.
Yeah.
I was sharing with you that my goal, right, was to get to a certain number of followers. And you
Yep.
did. You questioned me why. And people don't usually question me like that. And I loved it because it was such a good question. Why? Like,
Why do you want that many? Yes.
what do we want
Yeah.
in our business? But it was really
Yeah.
funny. So anyway, the Sister Racket is going to be a chance for us to share with you what we're thinking, what's going on in our fashion world, if you will. Hopefully have a little fun. I did a podcast before that was about wine. So Heidi, I'm going to try to make you drink wine with me sometime when we're doing this.
Perfect.
Maybe
And I
champagne.
watched one, and it was super fun. It was a champagne tasting. I loved it.
That's right. You did watch one. That was so
I
fun.
did.
So today we're going to talk about there's a lot going on in the news about tariffs, right? And what is
Mhm.
that going to mean for stuff, for all kinds of stuff? And in the fashion industry, what I think is interesting is that I think at first blush, people think, okay, well, that's going to be fast fashion. That's going to be Amazon, cheaper brands that are going to get affected. But what I'm hearing is that a lot of the even higher end brands, even if they're building manufacturing here in the US, their materials are coming from elsewhere.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that means that more people are likely to be shopping secondhand. What do you
Right.
think?
Yeah. I've been reading a lot of articles too. There was in, Malibu or Santa Monica, California, where they hand make wedding gowns, and they were
Wow.
saying, we're working in the United States. We have a building in the United States, our stores in the United States, but all the materials are from elsewhere across the seas. And so it's interesting to see where it's going to hit and what it's going to, how it's going to affect it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons that I got excited about doing the Sister Rack is that I read a stat the other day that like shocked me, and I'll probably get it wrong, but I think it was something like every single human on the planet could wear something every day for 7 lifetimes before we run out of all of the clothing that already exists on the planet.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
So we can all shop secondhand, shop the Sister Rack, shop each other's
Yep.
closets while the rest of the world figures out what they're going to do with the tariffs.
Yeah. And I had two experiences this week alone. One week, I went with Gio and we went to the Chic Boutique, which was put on to raise money for the Salvation Army. And it was in downtown
Yeah.
Houston. And it's just, it's fun. I mean, it's more of a treasure hunt because it was overwhelming because there was so much stuff and it was so different. And so everything had a different touch and a different feel. And the prices were amazing because and some of them were even brand new with tags. Um, and
Wow. That's
then,
cool.
and then I also stumbled into the outlet mall that's here and I went into the off Fifth and it was big, hollow, empty building. The purse selections was everything. All the purses were black or brown. Like it was, and I was like, I was going through the rack, boring, 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 and they're expensive. So it was like, and the materials just did not feel like, even though they were new, the materials just didn't feel good. The designs were boring,
Yeah.
and they were expensive. So those are kind of my two shopping experiences just this week, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm getting into, Heidi knows, but I'm getting into fixing things up. So we have a Louis Vuitton purse that's going to be in the Sunshine on My Mind collection that I bought and I fixed up. And that's another really fun thing, right? You're talking about the quality of the products, and I think there's a ton of chatter out there that a lot of the top design houses aren't using the same high quality anymore. So a lot of people like Chanel, for example. If you buy a Chanel from 20 years ago, the lamb's skin, like the leather that they use, was a higher quality than they use now. But things age over time, so I'll be able to share. Maybe we'll find something and I can do a video, or we can do it together on a Sister Racket episode where I actually fix something up. That would be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I have a question for you because I read this
Okay.
article and I thought this was interesting. What percent of shoppers do you guess bought secondhand apparel of some kind in 2024?
What percent of shoppers? I would say 25%.
58%.
Wow. I wonder
Isn't
where
that
they're going.
amazing? I wonder where they're going to. And maybe they
Yeah.
only bought one item, right?
Right. Okay.
But maybe they're going to buy more items. The
Huh.
other thing, yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
The other thing
That's
that I
good.
read, this is from a ThreadUp study, but it says that 59% of consumers and 69% of millennials, so it's even more
Okay.
prevalent with younger shoppers,
Yeah.
will seek affordable options and secondhand options if government policies make apparel more expensive. So
Oh, yeah.
they'll be more
Definitely.
likely to want to shop secondhand rather than pay the tariffs, because I think there's just noise around it, and
Yeah.
if you can buy your favorite brand and you know that it's been well cared for, it's more enjoyable.
Yeah. And then,
And
yeah,
that's the
that generation, they love finding things in consignment or thrift, that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Which, by the way, anyone that's listening, if you guys ever find something, it doesn't have to be on the Sister Rack. Anything you find while you're thrifting that you're excited about, send us a video. We'll share it.
Yeah.
Super fun. I love those. I can go down bunny trails of people finding things in thrift stores, and it's
I should have
amazing
done
what you
that
can.
when I was at that chic boutique, but I was in such overwhelm and there were women everywhere and there was bags everywhere and it was crazy. So, but yeah, good idea. I need to do that next time.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
Sister
that
Racket #1 is
I
done.
know. Sister Racket #1. We're going to pop this on our website and yeah, we'll catch you next time when we rack it again.
Woohoo! Happy hunting, everybody.
Bye.